Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Still have an unassembled router table sitting in front of me. Hopefully, I'll get to work on this some this weekend. But I brought the Kindle with me today. It's been a while since we've talked about reading. It's been a while since we've talked about Wheel of Time. And no, I have not finished book 4. I'm still working on book 4. And I'm a little over halfway. I'm probably like 60%, something like that, through the book. And the vast majority of that reading happened recently, over a course of just a couple of days. I had a whole bunch of free time, and I poured it into the book. And I really enjoyed that. And so while, yes, this video is a little bit about the book, it's more about my time reading, because my time reading has been very difficult lately, and I don't necessarily think it's a product of the Wheel of Time, a product of book 4, or anything like that. I think it's just a product of how I'm going about my life right now, and how reading hasn't fit into my life a lot lately. And it's not that reading has become a chore. That's not it. It's just that how I spend my free time lately has been much more productive. And I'm not trying to discount reading. I'm not saying reading isn't productive. Reading is super productive to me. It's been an invaluable resource for me in my entire life. Reading has brought me new understandings, new perspectives. It's given me escape. It's given me a lot. But book 4 starts off a little bit exciting, and then it slowly tapers down, and it slowly becomes just tease after tease after tease after tease. This is really the beginning of Robert Jordan setting up 25 storylines that are all just teasing in this first half of this book. And as a reader, you just kind of have to go along with it. Like, all right, well, I guess I'll figure that out later. And there's so many stops and start points where it's like, I can't let them know what I'm supposed to be doing, or I'm going to surprise them all. And then it's just this thread after thread after thread starts fraying off of this story to become this gigantic storyline. And that's why, if you haven't read the series, it was originally intended to be, I believe, 7 books, and it ended up being 14. It's because of all of these threads. And so it's difficult to get into. What I discovered, though, about the third of the way point to 50% between there, I really was like, yeah, let's go. And I'm reading into it, and I'm reading, I'm totally involved in the world again. I'm totally involved in the characters again, and I was really enjoying my reading. And I still am. But what I have found is that while I have a desire to pick the book up and read, it feels a little bit like work, and so I don't. I end up procrastinating on it. I end up I'll do something else for a while. Having a bunch of focused time, hours to sit and read and do nothing but read, really pushed me to open the book and read it, and really got me excited and involved in it again. And I'm still excited and involved in the story, but it's become a bit of a task to have to read it. Like, that wasn't a mistake of words. Like, that's how it feels. I have to read this. And it's been a weird feeling because it's new to me. Usually when I get into a book, and like I just said, I'm into this book. Usually when that happens, it's all I want to do is finish the book, is read it. I think that part of me knows that finishing this book is not going to bring me any satisfaction, right? There's 10 more to go after this. Finishing this book just means I get to start the next part of this journey. And what I've also discovered is, I believe the last time I made it this far in the series was over 15 years ago. I have extremely vague recollection of some of the events. I have completely forgotten most of it. Like 95% of it I don't remember at all. There's times in this book when characters pop up that I go, oh, I think that person ends up being this. And then we get to that point and you go, oh yeah, that's what happens. But I completely forgot until I got to that page. So it's been a really interesting reading experience because it almost feels like I'm reading it for the first time. And the future events that I've read up to, like book 7, 8, I remember vaguely some of the things that happen. I think. I also, in my head, think that I might be confusing it with another series. So it's been a chore, but it really gripped me when I was able to just sit and read. It really is a gripping book when you do that. But at least for this first half, like I said, it's just tease after tease after tease. And this might be a bit spoilery, so if you, like, la la la, if you don't want to hear this part. Up till book 4, we've been taught about the Dragon Reborn. We've been taught about the prophecy of the dragon and how he's going to come back, and he has the last battle at Sheol Gul and whatever. This book introduces other prophecies and other things that need to be fulfilled in order, like that prophecy of the Dragon Reborn breaking the world and saving everybody is just like the central regional section of Randland, of the Western world. It's their version of the prophecies. But other cultures, other places also have prophecies about the guy, the one that goes and does the thing. And so now we're kind of not, and so we've set up all this mystery because for 3 books we've just focused on this one central little location and their version of the story. And so we know a good bit of that detail. But now we're being thrown into, well, wait, these people also have their version of the prophecy story. And these people have their version of the prophecy story. And these people have their version of the prophecy story. And now we're going to start opening threads to all of those to see what we can pull out of all of that. And there's a whole host of other issues going on with all the other characters from the previous 3 books. They all have to go off and do their own thing to figure out who they are, and it's a big becoming change. This book is really the change of the becoming, right? For not just the Dragon Reborn, which we discovered was Rand, but for the other characters. The other characters start to become who they're supposed to be. What they thought they were going to be in the first 3 books is sometimes correct, other times dramatically different. They are in this book becoming dramatically different, and so that's exciting. This is kind of the changing, and it makes a very interesting story to learn just how much the pattern pushes on these people's lives. Again, the only problem that I have is we now have 25 or 50 dangling thread ends that we have to try to weave together constantly, and the book jumps around a lot. You'll get really into a storyline and then we jump to a different storyline. It's somebody else's problem and you're like, was that a good point to cut this? Like, you're just setting up this mystery payoff, which works, but a lot of the payoff is not in this book. I know that from reading it previously. A lot of the payoff for a lot of the things that happen in this book are way down the line. That feels weird, and I think that's part of the problem, that I feel like it's becoming a chore to read, because I remember how much of it is down the line, and I remember how much stuff I have to get through to get there. It's a little bit frustrating, but I'm going to do it. I'll come back when I finish the book and let you know. So, I'm enjoying it. Let's put it that way. I wish I could pick it up and just go and be totally immersed in it, but there's a lot going on in life right now, between the kids and other things. So I haven't had the time to just sit and read. And of course the sun's starting to come out, so walking the dog and spending time down here, that all takes away from time to read. But I'll let you know. If you have any questions about book 4, or you want to talk about it, or any of the previous 3 books, let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is limpid. It is an adjective meaning clear and transparent, free from obscurity. The Monstiggers are fond of saying that they are capable of eschewing all of the most limpid tax dodges. Limpid, L-I-M-P-I-D. That's a fun word. Limpid. I would have thought it was going to mean more like, I guess, impotent or something, but no. Clear and transparent, free from obscurity. I'm going to use that one.